Hello and welcome. Today I'm going to talk about the problems with the roof design at iammarwa's villa. Now, the other day I made a video about the problems with the staircase design, and I got mixed reviews on the channel. You can read the comments and judge for yourself. The video today is specifically dedicated to pointing out some of the roofing mistakes on the villa, because it's obvious that that villa, the roof on that villa, the flat roof on that villa was not designed properly, and it wasn't even constructed properly. I'm very much aware that he has contracted in-concept interior studio to do some repairs. And so I want us to watch the video and the proposed solution by In-Concept Interior Designs, and then I'm going to point out a couple of things that I think the contractor for In-Concept, I think it's called Mr. Ebole, can do better. I must say this, however, that what he has suggested and what he suggests in video, I agree with almost all of it, except just a few details. And those are the details that I want to point out. And hopefully, if he ever gets to watch this video, he can incorporate that in the repair. And like I mentioned before, a construction mistake is a construction mistake. It doesn't matter whose house it happened. It could be the president's house. It could be a celebrity's house, a bigger celebrity's house, or it could be an ordinary person's house. The truth of the matter is that it remains a mistake until it's rectified. And the purpose of this channel is to point out those construction mistakes and suggest ways in which they can be rectified properly, so that somebody out there who does not know about these things can be able to learn and appreciate that, this is how things can be done right. As I said, I started this channel so that I can contribute towards making the building and construction industry in Kenya much better. So with that said, let's watch this video of Mr. Ebole and see what he's talking about. There we go.
Proofing. So this is what we call waterproofing. This is we applied this membrane here just to secure, just to make it a first aid. So that's why, as I said in my last video, it was a first aid. Now we have come back. We need to fix the whole roof once and for all. So this is how our roof looks like. This roof had been waterproofed before using the earth mixture, but because they did not protect the waterproofing due to the rain and the harsh weather, the roof has eroded. You can see these are the cracks. You can see the cracks. You can see this is as a result of heavy rains. So it has eaten up all the waterproofing, and the slab is exposed. So you can see all these cracks here. That is the membrane that has cracked. So it is allowing our videos from now to the end. We are going to show you how we are going to do this roof. And if you are out there and you are doing a rooftop, a concrete rooftop, please make sure that when you are doing your slab, number one thing you need to know is that you need to get your mixtures and the ratios correct for the approved exposed slab in terms of waterproofing. Then number two, you need to make sure that once you do your slab, you need to apply a membrane on top of the slab, which is a small layer of waterproofing membrane, an admixture of waterproofing membrane. Then on top of the waterproofing membrane, you need to do a screed now with levels guiding your water. You need to take the levels. After doing the membrane, you need to take the levels of the floor so that you control the water in the direction that you want the water to go. You can never have a flat roof. You can never have a sloppy, flat roof, or a roof with a dent in between. So you need to take your levels on the roof, direct water into different directions also, because you don't need to take all the water into one direction. In our case, we had some points here to direct the water down, but they were never used because they never put the pipe there. Because what they did, they took the measurements from here and sloped the roof, all of it into one direction. So we only have all the water from this roof going down through the pipes in one direction, which is not a good thing. You are supposed to divide this roof and have at least water going through different directions. At least all the 4 directions should have a downpipe. So I'm not sure we are going to achieve that on this roof because it was already done. I'm not sure we are going to achieve that, but we are going to do the best we can to make sure that no water is resting on the roof, and also the water from the roof is properly drained, and it's not also going down like a waterfall. So we need to also to do the piping for it and get it out and to do a storm water management from the roof all the way to the river. We have the river down there, so all the water will have to be directed because the storm water is supposed to go into a natural stream. In this case, we have a river there. The storm water is clean. We are going to redirect it and see how we get it out of this place.
So right, up to that point, I technically agree with everything that Mr. Ebola is talking about, stormwater management on the roof. But I need to point out a couple of things. Number one, the problem he suggests he's going to have is how to create slopes on that roof. And I admit that it's going to be quite a challenge because it's a really big roof. But then that sets in motion something else that I noticed when he was talking about the sequence of waterproofing. So he's talking about that when you're waterproofing, you have your slab, and then you have and then you need to apply a waterproof liquid waterproofing membrane, and then you need to after that, then you do your screeding, and then after you do your screeding, and then you apply your terrazzo on top of that, which in normal circumstances is fine. You might follow that order. However, in this case, there's only one slight issue, which is that there is no way he's gonna be able to distribute that water and take it off from the roof without internal gutters. That roof, as we saw from the video, that's a very huge roof, and without internal gutters you cannot direct it properly to different points and drain that water. So one thing that he will have to do, whether I think he likes it or not, is he will have to construct some internal gutters and parapet walls. And in my previous videos, I've talked so much about internal gutters and parapet walls because that I notice is one of the common mistakes across Kenya that builders for residential houses are struggling with. So I've made several videos on how to detail and construct internal gutters and parapet walls. And I'm going to explain the same in this video for Marwa's villa. So when we look at what Mr. Ebole has explained, when I decided to do some details or some drawings for iammarwa, and then to explain how Mr. Ebole can also benefit from these drawings. So like he rightly says, here I have a mock-up of iammarwa's floor plan. So this one here may be wrong, but because I don't have the exact floor plan, I just mocked it up from the videos I've seen online. So, but basically the house is a rectangular box. And so the principle of roof drainage on internal gutters on a rectangular roof or on a rectangular house is the same. So bear with me because the layout, the shape of this floor plan or roof plan might be wrong. But that's besides the point. Like I said, the principle remains the same. So here I've drawn up what is existing. Like Mr. Ebole said, whenever in the initial bit where it was constructed, they directed water from one part of the roof, say here, this part, and all the way down there, all the way to the other side. In one area, so that all that water is splitting, is falling through that direction there. And I think there's another video that showed when it was raining in that village, and it was like a waterfall from the roof. And if I cut a cross section, say from here. If I cut a cross section from here, say from here across to there, if we cut that roof into half, this is what you're gonna see. So you're gonna see that high point there. This is the high point. And then you're gonna see that sloping all the way down to the other side. To this side where there is outlet pipes, and that's what we saw when it rained. We saw water spilling over across. So this type of detailing, what is existing, I've labeled this what is existing, is very basic, it's very pedestrian, to be honest, and this is what normally costs clients who are not aware of what needs to be done properly a lot of money, because the builders do this, and then at the end of the day you have to call somebody like Mr. Ebole to come and do the repairs, which, you know, like he said in the video, it's gonna take a lot of time and it's gonna cost a lot of money, and I'll explain to you where the time is gonna go, because there's gonna be two options here. To solve this problem, there's about two things that can do. All they have to do is determine which one will take less time. So this is as existing, what has been constructed. As you can see, like I said, it's very rudimentary. That is the existing slab. I assumed it's flat. First you start with a flat slab, and then you have to construct your you get your levels with concrete screed. So I've shown the screed there, starting from that side all the way down to the other side, and then to the outlet pipe somewhere there. Now this bit here this is what I'm proposing. This is what I think Mr. Ebole can benefit from, this particular detail, in terms of draining that roof. Like I said, it's going to be very difficult for them to escape doing internal gutters, and I'll come back and explain here, but I'll first show you the new roof. So remember, the existing roof was like this. The existing roof plan was like this. What they had done, just getting the water from one place, one corner, and then directed it to the other end of the roof, and you know, it spills down this way. What I've suggested is that they can, and this should answer Mr. Ebole's question on how to get the levels. So I've basically designed a roof, and on top of that house, and the slope here, the slope of this roof is going to be, normally for a flat roof, 3 degrees is considered, anything from 3 degrees and below is considered a flat roof, but I would actually go for maybe 1.5, just so that we don't have too much height, because the roof is so big and is spanning so wide, so you don't want to have too much height over here. If you're starting 1.5 degrees from here going up that way, you don't want this bit here to be too high. We just want to maintain maybe a maximum of 200 millimeters at this ridge here. So maybe anything between 1 to 1.5 degrees will probably do the trick. And I say 1 to 1.5 degrees because the finishing on top of the screed will be terrazzo, and so terrazzo, you can achieve those levels, is good. So what I've done here is provide sort of a mock-up plan, and like I said, this is mock-up plan. The shape of the roof may not be, is not exactly this, because I was taking this from the videos, but what he can do really is, I've created a roof plan with these are your high points or ridges. That's a valley, that's a valley, that's a ridge, and then so this roof, and then these are your internal gutters, and like I said, the roof is flat, which is about 1 to 1.5 degrees. They will decide. It's normally good to decide on site which degrees are suitable. And then I've got internal gutters all around. So this roof here will drain on this side in this gutter. I'll just yep. So this one will drain that side, this one will drain there, this one will drain in that gutter there, and then you can see this gutter will direct water this way. I'll zoom in so you can see, and then this one, so you can either have a high point for the gutter there, another high point for the gutter there, so that this water is evenly distributed, and you are not overloading your downpipes, and there is less overflow. And then this bit of the roof will drain that way and that way, and you can have another high point for the gutter there, where that gutter, this internal gutter, drains this way to that downpipe, that way to that downpipe, and this one will drain that way, and this little valley here can drain into this gutter there, like that, into that gutter. And so what we've done then is take all that water on that catchment area and then redistribute it around the house, so that around the corners of the house, and have downpipes, so that that water can be evenly distributed and the drainage is proper. Now, one thing I might mention is that normally we have to do calculations to actually determine what size of gutter these are and what size of downpipes we can use. So normally I would sit down and do calculations and then specify the gutter size and downpipe, but because this is just a concept to explain how he can solve them, how he can solve his roof problems, I haven't done those calculations. Now, the other thing is, at the end of these downpipes, at the end of the gutter, like at the end here, if he chooses to have that gutter drain that way or whatever, then he will need to have, this is a very important element of drainage. This is it's called a rainwater head, and it's like a cup that catches all this water from the gutter, and then if there's any overflow, it will come out through there, and then the rest of it goes down that downpipe. So very important that he's gonna have to buy rainwater heads as well as downpipes. And I know Mr. Ebole mentioned that they're gonna have to they're gonna use downpipes. So with the downpipe, they will need rainwater heads, and then the downpipe will be channel the water down, vertically down, and then into, hopefully they can pipe it back into the river where it comes from. And then this one is showing you how that rainwater head works with the gutter and the downpipe. So you've got your rainwater head there, and then you've got the downpipe there, and then that's the high point of the gutter that I'm showing you guys there, right there. So back to what I've suggested specifically for iammarwa Villa. This is how he's gonna get. So on this plan, this is if he designs his roof like that, and then when I cut through there, that section AA, this is what comes out, you see. So this is how his roof is gonna look like after rectifying the mistakes that were done before. Remember, before it was looking like this, very rudimentary, and now we've put in a bit more detail, a bit more robust detail, and now it's starting to look very robust. So what happens is that this is what I was saying, that they can do two things now in terms of repair. Remember, there's this existing screed right here. You know, there's your slab, existing slab, and then you had to put they had to put some concrete screed to get some level, to get some slope, so that the water can drain. Now the issue is they'll have to decide what is cheaper, because at the end of the day, in order to achieve this, they will need to have a flat surface. You'll need to create first a flat surface, and then start creating the different levels, so the shape of the roof that has been designed. So the question they will need to decide is, do they try and scrape? You see what I've labeled here in this here in purple, in pink, sorry, that is the existing screed. That is the line of the existing roof slope right there, going through there like that. So they'll have to decide, is it cheaper to actually scrape this, take out all that existing screed, and then have a start again from a flat concrete surface. So take out all that and start again from a flat concrete surface. Or is it cheaper to level the screed, as I've done in this design, in this detail? Well, is it going to be cheaper to level levelize or to build onto the existing screed, level it up, and then start the waterproofing process. Now, the advantage of, I would say the advantage of scraping the existing screed, removing this existing level, that is taking this all out. Let's see, the advantage of taking all these out. So you come with your chisels or whatever, and then just take all that out, and then you have a flat concrete surface. So this goes, you have a flat concrete surface, and then you can come and then you can create this roof here. Now you can start building up this roof and these levels and slopes so that you are able to drain the water properly. So the question is, what is going to be cheaper? And that's the question that has to be answered on site by the contractor when they are on site and starting to do this. What I've shown here is basically assuming that it's expensive to remove the existing screed, then you can build onto it, levelize it, and this is what this detail shows, so that when you build onto the existing screed, it means that you cannot follow the process of waterproofing that Mr. Ebole says in the video. What it means is that, as you can see, I've put new screed onto the existing just to create, and you see this was the lower side of the roof where the water was draining out. But now I've built up with new screed. This is about 200 high, but this slope is about 1.5 degrees, I think, 1.5 degrees. So I've built a gutter using, if you check my videos, how to detail an internal gutter. I've built a gutter using 21 mil ply, relying on 45 by 45 timbers. And then I have to put damp-proof membrane or DPC between timber. I have to put DPC between timber and concrete. And then I put my timber, I put my my 21 ply, and then I put the waterproofing membrane. So the blue line indicates the waterproofing membrane. So they can actually use, this can be ply, normally can take liquid waterproofing as well. So you can use liquid waterproofing, this a thin film of that on that. And then see, I have that waterproofing there on the internal gutter as well. And then the red line is indicating the terrazzo, which is terrazzo is for epoxy 158. So it's the same process as it's more or less the reverse of what Mr. Ebole said, because what Mr. Ebole was suggesting was that first off, you would have to put to waterproof the slab first here, and then you will have to put your screed. So this blue line will have been here, waterproofing the slab first, or in this case on top of the screed. So we'll have to waterproof that like that, and then we come put the screed, get the levels, and then finish, protect the screed again with the terrazzo. But in this case, if you waterproof what is existing first, then you have, and like I said, there is no way they're going to escape having to build internal gutters. Once you waterproof the screed first, or even the slab, before you put your internal gutters, when you come and put your internal gutters, then the internal gutter will, during construction, will interfere with your the waterproofing, so making that a weak point. So the sequence, in my opinion, is even if they remove the screed, let's assume they remove the screed. The sequence will be remove the screed, remove the existing screed so that you have a flat slab to build onto, which means you reduce the height of the screeds, and then remove the existing screed, then build your new levels, build your slopes and levels with new screed, and then build your internal gutters, and then put a double layer of waterproofing, which in this case is going to be the either liquid membrane waterproofing, or you can even use butanol as waterproofing. And then on top of that, you can come with terrazzo, ISPOA as your second protective layer of waterproofing. But like I said, there's no way they're going to escape having to do internal gutters like I've shown here in order to properly and effectively and robustly drain this roof. There's no way that's going to happen without internal gutters. If they do that, if they don't get internal gutters, they are going to have problems in the future. Now, the other thing that he didn't talk about, which I've been talking about quite a lot in my videos, is how to waterproof parapet wall. We saw in the video the parapet walls, these ones here, they are not actually waterproofed detailed properly at the top of this. And so what happens if you don't waterproof these ones and flush them properly, like this one here, if you don't do that, what happens is that they become points of weakness and water ingress. So I have taken the liberty then to detail the parapet wall, and this is how you do it. So first off, you've got a plaster or waterproof again the whole of that wall, and with the guttering, you can see all the membrane will come and then tuck inside on top of the plaster, so that if any water falls here, it falls on top of the plaster and into the internal gutter. So here you have your walls that have already been waterproofed first, and then you need this bevel toplet, which has a slope of at least 5 degrees, and then we need to cap that with a metal flashing, and metal flashing just protects that brick, that top block there, and make sure that the water is drained this way down into the gutter. And then of course on this side you have your plastering and stuff. And again, a very important detail, that flashing has to be big, has to have a bird's mouth. Now somebody might be wondering, in Kenya, how do you do all this in Kenya? This is very simple. You go to the Juakali guys, they normally they can prefabricate these flashings for you. You just make sure it's stainless steel. Even here, you can waterproof here with terrazzo and waterproofing membrane as indicated before, but you can still use a steel gutter here on ply. You know, I've explained in my previous videos, if you have a look, if you go watch them, I've explained properly how a steel gutter can be connected, or a steel metal gutter can be connected. Steel metal internal gutter can be connected with as an internal gutter onto a block wall, and on this other side as well. So basically, and the last thing, I think, in terms of again designing this roof, where to place the downpipes, I just want to mention that, like I say, he can place them at the end on the outside, in which case he will need this sort of scenario or even if he places them inside the gutter itself, the downpipe can come down like this, and then he can bend it this way and out. Or he can decide, if he chooses suitable places like in corners, he can decide they can go all the way along the roof, all the way down and then out through the floor or whatever, but then he will have to box them somehow and hide them if they're within the house, just to make sure that there is no noise happening. So the noise from the water when it's falling down, it's limited. So you can box your downpipes if you want to do so. So basically, this is how to waterproof iammarwa's villa roof, and I hope that this video goes a long way to help him this detail. Like I said, this is what I do on a daily basis, so it comes pretty much easy for me to figure out these things and how to solve them. And my aim is actually to be able to help people understand this, some of these complex construction details or complex things that that builders and fundis do in Kenya, and hopefully make it robust. So once again, this is what was existing for iammarwa, and it's evident it's very rudimentary and not done properly. And this is what we are saying that he can benefit from, which is something that is professionally done, something that is robust. These are details that are robust, details that can be done, can be constructed properly. And all I need to do is all Mr. Ebola needs to do is actually take this detail and actually construct the way it is. Take this detail and this plan. The plan might probably need to be modified because it's not the exact layout, but the basic principle remains the same in terms of how to distribute the water to different places, and then drain it away back into the river. And those details will work that way. So guys, that is basically what I do, and like I said, I'm happy to help out. My aim is basically to keep doing this and keep educating people about the right way to construct, so that they're able to build it right the first time and not make mistakes and then you come to repair later. So if this had been done professionally the first time, we will not be talking about it. But because it was not done right, then we're talking about it, and we are having to help in sorting it out. So if you like this kind of content, once again, thanks for watching. Please like the video, share and subscribe. And like I said, if Mr. Ebola wants to reach out and use this detail for repairing iammarwa's house, they can get in touch with me, or they can just watch this video and copy what I've done, what I've drawn. I don't mind. I've decided to give this information for free, and I'm happy to do it. Normally people pay a lot of money for us to do this kind of details, but now I'm making all that available on my channel. So if you are another builder who wants to use this information and want to know more about it, or want to customize this to your unique situation, watch this video and reach out to us, and we'll be happy to have that discussion. Thank you for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next video.